Good morning, hockey fans. This is Stephen Heisler with HeisHockey.com, the victorious hockey company, and the ever-evolving junior hockey discussion group on Facebook. You are watching the Junior Hockey Morning Show. We are on the World Sports Broadcasting Network, WSBN.TV, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. Hopefully this fine Monday morning, you are in your office, at your desk, in the car listening, not watching. I'm much better looking when you're listening than if you're watching. Just saying. Today is Monday, January 22nd. This is of 2024. This is the week of the USA Hockey Winter Meetings. Begin this week in Orlando. I'll be there if they let me. I often get kicked out of those things. Oh, they call it executive session or something like that. But hey, no media. I'm the only media there. It's okay. Nobody else seems to care. Today's topic. Last Monday, we kind of talked about the expanding footprint of the BCHL. The plan was to expand into Alberta. Well, that happened over the weekend. British Columbia Hockey League announces the addition of 5 teams from Alberta. So last week we told you about the pending expansion of the BCHL as they were set to take several teams from the Alberta Junior Hockey League. The BCHL announced on Saturday that 5 AJHL teams will join the British Columbia Hockey League for next season. The teams include Sherwood Park Crusaders, Spruce Grove Saints, Brooks Bandits, Black Falls Bulldogs, and the Okotoks Oilers. In a statement late Saturday from the AJHL, it was informed of the decision through an announcement from the BCHL of a decision by 5 teams to join the BCHL for the 24-25 season. Let's make this clear. The AJHL knew long before Saturday. They knew last summer this was inevitable. They're complaining because no official notice has been provided to the AJHL from the respective teams. It was the worst kept secret in hockey. Everybody knew. I kind of knew it was happening quickly, but everybody else knew. Here's how the AJHL responded. 2 games that were scheduled to take place on Saturday have been canceled, along with 2 games on Sunday. All the canceled games involve teams that join the BCHL. If that was not the definition of petty, I don't know what is. Instead of keeping the integrity of the current season intact, the leadership of the AJHL resorted to a knee-jerk reaction that proved nothing but gross immaturity. That's right. The Alberta Junior Hockey League acted like a bunch of spoiled, rotten babies. Oh, you don't want to play with us anymore? You don't get to play at all. Stupidest thing I ever heard. The BCHL has announced that it will come to terms with 5 Alberta-based teams, and that happened on the BCHL site on Saturday. The statement went on to say that the information about the league structure with the additional teams will be announced within a couple weeks. BCHL now grows from 17 to 22 teams, while the AJHL will be reduced from 16 to 11. The future of the remaining teams in the AJHL remains unclear, bringing a major change to the league, which formed in 1964. We are being told that a serious discussion is taking place, maybe not right now, but is taking place between several operators within the AJHL and counterparts from the Saskatchewan Junior Hockey League. I don't know for sure that's going to be a full merger, a cooperative schedule, but something along those lines could very well be taking place. The reality is that Hockey Canada and the Canadian Junior Hockey League have refused to budge from the position regarding players wanting to return from non-sanctioned leagues. As it sits now, players that want to return from a non-sanctioned league if they played a game after October 1st is prohibited. And also the issue is the free movement of underage prospects from one province to another. We would not at all be surprised if a combined group from the AJHL and the SJHL followed the BCHL's lead into non-sanctioned existence. None of these choices would have been made if Hockey Canada would not have caved to the folks from the Canadian Hockey League, that is the Ontario Hockey League, the Western Hockey League, and the Quebec League. If they had not caved in favor of the CJHL players or teams having some of the same rostering privileges as the CHL has. Right now, young players can cross province in the CHL without any issue. Canada does kind of cut the country in half, right? So if they're from Ontario to Quebec, they play in the OHL. Quebec out to the Maritimes, they play in the Q. And from Manitoba West, they play in the Dub. Pretty much Mississippi River all the way to New Orleans to the west is all Dub territory. The Q gets some of New England, I believe, and then the OHL is out spaces in the middle. Right now, the Canadian Hockey League can take as many imports from the United States as they want. CJHL teams are limited. BCHL teams are not anymore. All of this, let's go back. For example, when a high-end 16-year-old from Ontario wanted to join one of the BCHL teams, he was unable to without a corresponding change of residency from the parents. So the parents would literally have to pack up in Ontario, move to British Columbia in order to play on one of those BCHL teams. All of that is now a moot point. But the 10,000-pound elephant in the room is the expected announcement from the NCAA that changes eligibility rules for hockey. Listen closely. We are hearing those players with less than 10 games in the National Hockey League, the NHL, will be eligible to enroll and play for Division 1 and 3 schools after this summer. Many hockey purists continue to try and downplay this move by the NCAA, but it's difficult to argue against when some NCAA athletes are literally taking down millions of dollars in name, likeness, and image and likeness agreements. With USA Hockey's meetings starting this week, I'm sure that a lot of conversations will be pointed into this direction. The big fear is that all this means less NCAA Division I opportunities for American players. Let's be clear. There's not going to be any more scholarships, right? Division I schools aren't all of a sudden going to say, hey, we're going to give out more scholarships because we have all these Canadian kids now eligible. That's not going to happen. It's going to be the same number of scholarships. What's ultimately probably going to happen is that some USHL kids would normally they would have got a free ride are going to have to pay for school. North American Hockey League players rarely get free rides anyway, so they're still paying for school. More NAHL players will end up going to D3. Maybe some USHL players as well. Some higher-end players from the other Canadian leagues will end up in D3 and ACHA D1. All in all, college hockey is going to be a lot better from Division I down to the ACHA D2 spots. All across the game is going to be better level of play, a better developmental opportunity combined with the academic advantages that schools offer. It's a good thing. Get your panties out of the bundle. We're going to be fine. That's it for today. Hope that you enjoy your morning coffee and have a great day in hockey.